Okay, try and get out Lego Universe. Okay, so hello everybody. This is NinjaValU here. Anyone who's watching this video will probably have seen my previous video where I announce a Lego Universe speedrunning competition I want to get done. Well, speedrunning amongst other things on the monument. And so in this video I want to go over a couple of rules and my suggested route. So here we go, and why specifically I'm suggesting this route based around these rules. Okay, first off, you're actually at a slight disadvantage if you're playing on I think only LCW has this stuff on the monument actually at the moment, because you've got to hit the buttons, but I quite honestly couldn't be bothered to get my J-less version up, so doing this. Okay, first thing to note here, you can potentially cut off some time by going up and over, not only because you're going upwards and get time, because not only because you're cutting off a corner and get time because of that, because you know Pythagoras is a thing, but also because sliding down can give you a slight speed boost. I'm not certain how significant it is, but it's worth looking into. Rather than waiting for that thing, I advocate you can make. As I said, I'm not going to try and pull off any of these tricks because I lag so much when recording, but you can pull off a double jump up onto here, single jump lands here, but you need to make sure you land because it's quite difficult to make that this distance with only the double part, with only the second jump in your double jump, whereas it's easy without. Then you can go around, but probably faster is using that little bit, which you can stand on. You can stand on the lower bit, you can't stand on this bit, but standing there is enough to get you up. Then I'll go try and do this with the lag from OBS is going to kill me. Then run up here. I don't think, might be wrong, but I don't think you can make the jump from this bit. I think you need to make it from here. And oh no, I'm not going to. That's no. You can make that jump. I'm gonna repeatedly fail now because it involves a little bit of timing just to jump at the right point. Not a huge amount, but enough to make it. No, okay. Okay, so other things. Whilst I go back, I wanted you to be able to compete in this no matter what server you're on, and so that does include not just being compatible with servers like Uni, but also being compatible with actually servers with more stuff. And so this path, for instance, is not available because in LCDRU that requires building. Building isn't available in other things and other projects. Building, well, not all other projects. And just to keep things standardized, cut that off. The same goes for this route because there's a time penalty incurred in smashing it. I think probably even if you try and pull maybe a running jump would get you through there without time penalty, but still to be standard throughout the project, I'm suggesting, or the rules for this speedrun are not going down either of those paths because both paths require, or depending on your server, could require something. And the same also therefore goes with jumping on smashables and spawned items. That's not allowed. Which means, yeah, the only way I've currently found onto this, because you can't take the green path around the back, so the only way I've found up onto this level is making that jump. From here you can put which I did make that time. I knew it could be done. Okay, next bit is to make, maybe you can jump directly from the ribcage onto, no, that looks way too high a jump to make directly from the ribcage. I generally walk back, mostly because I don't trust myself. You probably don't need to, so that's probably another place where time could be scraped off. Jump. Now, my traditional way of completing this would have been to jump from this ledge onto there, run and sort of fall along there, and then jump around this outcrop onto there. However, I was watching a speedrun by Zyphozia. Sorry, I said that I was wrong if I'd say Zypho or Zyphozia. And it sounded very confused as to his name. Where he makes this jump, I'm not going to make it. No. I should go back and do it again, shouldn't I? Yeah, where he makes that jump and manages to land directly on the path. So actually, it's probably good I'm doing this again. So where does time start? Where does time end? If you're actually competing, this is one of the reasons I won't be competing because I can't pull off these jumps with recording lag. You should make a recording of what you're doing if you want your time to be counted. In terms of standards, once you get past a certain level, I believe there is like a small speed boost your character gets. It's one of the like higher levels, like around 35, I think it might be. So this should be carried out without that speed boost, and in general, like no speed hacks should be used, because speed hacks are very, very possible. But if in the video, that's why you need to produce a video. So for starters, people can't just make up a time. But secondly, so people can confirm no speed hacks have been used. Oh god, this is laggy. Okay, and so yeah, timing officially begins when you cross that line, right there, and it ends for a time for God's sake, for a time I just recorded just to give Master Temple an idea of the time I was doing it to. I did it to a specific line on the road up to the finish line, but I think that's just too much effort, so I'm going to just say reaching the road at all is when the time finishes.